Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video. If you've been a long-time fan of the channel and you're paying attention to the background right now, you would know that I have the Boss G 12.2 shotgun made. I have the CZ75 full auto made, and I have an SMG 12, all three made. That leaves only one more gun in the mix, and we'll have a full Dokkaebi loadout from Rainbow Six Siege, and that last gun is the M14. I've made the M14 before. I was really happy with my M14 before, but that M14 was old. I made that way back in high school. I was happy with the techniques that I was using at the time. And then I grew as a builder and I realized that there are far more techniques to use out there and that there are ways to do things vastly different. And so I set out on a quest to rebuild the M14 into what you see before you. So 5 stud wide M14 lower is way more of the proper dimension instead of 4, so I spent quite a bit of time updating it to 5 studs wide instead of 4. The upper handguard stayed the same. Most of the receiver, the barrel, all of that stayed relatively the same. The stock, all of that still relatively the same. Just a whole bunch of stud transitions needed to be changed so that they looked more appropriate. So this is actually what we ended with. This is the M14 battle rifle Mark II, 3, I don't know. For some reason, when I render images, the mark gets removed at the end of it for some reason. You can see up here at the top, it just says mark dot and then whatever. I don't know why it does that, but it does for some reason. This is what we ended up with. This is the more basic version of the M14 because I knew once I got the more basic M14 down, we could always come back and change it later to get the more complicated version of the M14, the one that Dokkaebi carries in game itself. This is what it looks like inside of LDD. We're just going to be going over some of the changes. So right off the bat, I did extend the stock just a little bit because I did lay down bricks for overall length, and I was slightly short on overall length, so I've now extended the stock so that that's proper and extended the barrel just slightly so that that matches up the overall length better. In terms of other changes, the whole receiver from this plate forward has now been transitioned to 5 studs wide. So you can see inside of the rendered image that you can barely even tell that this is actually a transition right here. You can see the shadow off of the plate right here, and that's kind of making a line, drawing your eye to it, but you can hardly tell that there's this 5 stud wide transition going on here. So we go from 4 studs to 5 studs going forward. And then down here is 4 studs as well. Well, it's 2 studs with plates, and it goes back to 4 studs here, and then there's plates. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different stuff going on here, but you can barely even tell that it's really there. So this still retains a whole bunch of the same shaping from the 4 stud wide version, but now just in 5 studs wide, so that it looks better, honestly. And then the handguard is still 4 studs wide up on top. Really didn't touch that all too much. Again, most of the action and stuff like that has remained untouched. The magazine is now 3 studs wide instead of 2 studs wide because, yeah, this is a battle rifle. It needs to be 3 studs wide, definitely. And then the barrel, gas block, and gas tube all relatively untouched. Really nothing going on there. This is all still pretty basic M14, but it definitely looks a lot better than what it did before. So yeah, that's practically it. This is just an updated M14 Mark III. There we go. Third version of, or is that 2? Oh, it's 2. This is the Mark II version of the M14. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment and subscribe for more versions similar to this one. See you guys later in another YouTube video at a different time.